Welcome back, guys, to our part 2 of our real estate build. So this is where we left off. So our server side was working properly in terms of like receiving what we call the house listing form. It was taking in all this. Now it's time for us to handle it by the client side. So now let's go to the client side and let's see how this goes. And if you guys have like ideas of videos, shout them out. I'm always keen to jump into this and build with you guys, enjoy with you guys, you know. It'll be nice. And please like, share and subscribe. This keeps me motivated to keep on bringing builds like this. Yeah, so now we'll need the use state. And then yeah, so what we do is const we're starting with the house price. Say okay, now let's have this on the side so that we know exactly what we should send, because we might make a mistake and send up like different things. So let's just copy this and have this on our side so that we can send exactly what the server wants. So I'll just have it here and I'll comment it like that. Alright, so let's say price, set price, use state. Initially this will be 0, and then const city, set city. Initially this will be an empty string, const province, you guys will say state, province is equals to state, empty string, const num of bedrooms, construct to set num of bedrooms, use state. Initially this should be 1. There shouldn't be a room without it. There shouldn't be a house without at least 1. Num of bathrooms, num of bathrooms, set num of bathrooms, use state, that will be 1, and then const num of garages, set num of garages equals to the state, and we have 1, and then is and then const is sale or rent, set is sale or rent, use state, that, right, and that should be our state that we need. Now this makes me feel like I should have used class-based component, but then it's fine. But then finally, not forgetting, we need the house image, right? House image. So why am I saying that I should have used class-based component? What I'm doing here is like extremely redundant code, because it's class-based components. We could have easily managed state easily, like effectively and effectively, to use state, and initially this is now, right? So but then it is what it is. We've started. So now let's come here in the type of house, and then we say on change. So on change E. Now we say set price to E dot target dot value, and the value is equal to price. And then we need a house location, that is province, and we say on change E, and we say set I've set province to E dot target dot value, and I have the value being equal to province, right? And then the city, I'm lazy to just do this, and they'll change, and I'll be changing values. So this will be equal to city, and this one will be set city, and then is sale or rent. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna say is sale or rent, that is the value, and then we wanna set is sale or rent, and then the values are strings, right? So I'll say value is equals to sale, value is equal to rent, and then number of bedrooms, paste that there, and then number of bedrooms, and then I want to set number of bedrooms. So this is just me being lazy. I'm saying that with class-based components we wouldn't have been doing this, but then yeah, it is what it is. And then we want to set number of bathrooms, num of bathrooms. Finally, yes, finally, we want to do num of garages, and then we want to set number of garages, right? So now this is all fine. So now we need to go to that button. Oh, I didn't even make a button for this thing. Did we even style this thing? No, I thought we did it. Yeah, I said that we'll style this thing on this video. So let me just have a quick look. Okay. So right underneath here, I'll have a button. Now say list your property, and then we'll have an on-click handler. On-click. When I have list property, right? So this is the function that we'll be using to send back our request to the server. So we then say const, and then what we do is do. So because this is not entirely a form, so I don't know if we'll need the prevent default, but then let's see if we will need the prevent default, which I doubt. And house image, I didn't add that, so let's duplicate that. Let's have a label, and we say house image, and then on change we want to set house image, and it's e.target.files. But then in order for us to restrict this user, we want to only take the first file, and the rest, if they want to enter 2 or more, that is something that we would be taking. Right. Yeah. And then we'll see if we'll need the e.prevent default, but then I doubt, because it's not necessarily a form, if you guys understand what I'm saying. Now let's just, as always guys, for verification, we want to see if we are getting everything. We log the price, I log the city, I log the province, num of bed rooms, num of bath rooms, num of garages, just as always guys. And then is sale or rent is sale or rent. And finally house image, and then now we just copy and paste here. Come on, we copy and paste that. We copy and paste that to that. So that we make sure that we actually are receiving all data that we need. And now I think that form, now we have to start up our server. So npm start, and let's just run our node server. Right, so this will take just a few seconds to load up, and we'll be up and running in a few. And this shouldn't take that much time. And okay, there we go. I literally even wanted to pause the video, but it's fine. So please like, share, and subscribe guys. This really helps me a lot. And then let's see. And I'll try to be as consistent as possible. Maybe after every 2 days I send videos. So after like sending this video, so after 2 days I'll send another, or maybe after a day. You guys can comment down below and tell me how like you want those builds to go, and I'll be keen to adhering to that. Alright, so we have something like that. So now let's just style this thing because it's looking ugly, right? So now how's this thing form.css. Okay, let's open that so that we can see how our CSS is, not CSS, our HTML is structured. So okay, so let's see. Though there's something off the top of my head, guys, like something that I'm thinking of. It might look bad, might not. You guys can give it your own styling at the end of the day. The main point is functionality, right? And then width, let's give this 70%. I don't know. And then let's align. I did align item center, but I don't know why. It's giving me what it's giving me. Margin left. Oh, let's just say margin. Margin left of auto. Margin right of auto. There we go, we have it centered nicely. And then what I want to do is, because I'm not liking how that button is in terms of like, it should go a little bit, make the page go a little bit down. I'll say form, and I'm gonna hook the button. So let's just say margin bottom of 2 amps. So to give that space, you see, like that space, it's a bit decent. And let's just continue back with this. So there's not much that I can do to this form fields, is there? I can, but then I don't know. Let's say in the form inputs, note that, guys, deciding I'm the worst. So this is just me thinking on how we can get this thing done and looking at least a bit better. But then you guys, if you like a bit better in terms of design, you guys can come with your own design. Functionality is key for me right now. 0.5 M and then 1.5. Functionality is what I'm gunning for. And then let's go to the button. We can give the button the same style as the input. I don't see why. Alright, and then give the button on hover effect. When I give the button on hover effect, I want to say background color of black. I say color of white. I want to say transition to be is in out of 0.4 seconds. Right, it's not looking bad, and it's not the best form, but then it's not looking bad. So let's come here up. I'm thinking, instead of this, let's say background color of white, and then we say border of 1 pixel, solid, hashtag that, right? And then we say box shadow, I don't know, and let's say 2 rem, 3 rem, and 1.5 rem, and solid, hashtag F5. So I'm gonna take that from there like this, Let's see how this is looking. Okay, so let's say 2. Okay, but it's too light. It's too light. I don't know if you guys can see that. But then what I can do is, I don't know if this will work. I'm not yet that good with box shadow, but then something that I've liked using lately. I like the way it pops out. Just looks pleasing to the eye. But then if you guys can see that, I don't know if you guys can see that. But then I'm just trying here to like get it to pop so that it's like extensively visible, but then it's not really visible. It's not coming to light. But then if I said hashtag F5F5F5, hopefully this will now be. The box shadow is not yet that visible. Okay, let's forget about this. But then I like the box shadow with, I don't know, man, like it should be popping right now. Let's try one more time with this. Have that a bit thicker. I don't know, but then it's fine. But then lately I've been liking the box shadow. It's just 2M. I have to like learn on it more, on how it works, because I don't have that, like, I don't have that fully. So but then no, it's fine, guys. I have to like learn more on like box shadow and all that. And similarly, it's like box shadow doesn't work. If this is true, it looks like box shadow doesn't work on flex. I don't know. I might be wrong. I might be wrong, because I noticed this on this other build that I was working on. It looks like box shadow doesn't work. I might be wrong, but then you guys can like tell me on that. Okay, so we have that form. It's the best form, but then it's looking decent like before it was, like the way it was before. So now, and I doubt why shouldn't box shadow work on flex, but then it's fine. So now let's see when we fill in the details. So the house price is 38,000. House location is worse than Cape. The province, the city is in Belleville. Sale or rent, resale. Ooh, sale or rent is not a function. Oh, here we go. Me getting an error. Okay. For what good reason? Oh, because I have this enclosed in this bracket. Yep, that was my mistake. So let's start here. House price 38,000. Location worse than Cape. House location Belleville. Sale or rent, sale. Number of bedrooms 4. Number of bathrooms 3. Number of garages 4. House image, it should be a file, not a text. Okay, but then let's just send this and let's see what we get. Okay, so we get the details, and now it's just the house image. So let's deal with this. It's a type of file, and placeholder won't take effect, but then it's fine. And I can remove the value, not this. I can remove the value because it's a file. No need for that. And then yeah, So let's see, house price 38. Yeah, it's fine. We're just random values right now. And the province Western Cape, location Belleville, sale or rent sale, number of bedrooms 4, number of bathrooms 3, number of garages 4, and house image. Come there, we go to MERN stack with web projects, MERN stack portfolio, real estate, client source, images, and any house. It's fine, and we have that. Right, now we have that. Let's send that there. And now we know that everything is coming through to us, so we can send this data back to the database, right? The server database, whatever it is. But then the server, right? So we can send this back to the server. So now we know that everything is working just fine. So now if anything breaks, we know that that shouldn't be the case, that we are missing files or data, right? So now what we want to do is so yeah, just move this. Oh yeah, I needed this thing, man. I needed this thing, so to know how they are really coming. But then it's exactly as this. City, province, yeah, they're exactly as this. From Axios. Okay, let me just go grab some water because my throat. Okay, so yeah. So what I was saying is, this is exactly as what the server is receiving, so it's fine. We can remove that, and we can remove this because they're identical. Just have to copy exactly, and then now I need the URL to which the we need to hit. It is the API house listing. API house listing. So const URL is equals to that. So now let's set up our client package.json so that we have it to proxy unknown requests to the server route. So say proxy so we have that. No, what's happening? We can even put it here, it's fine. So say proxy, and we have it to go to HTTP that local host 5000, right? I think we on 5000 on the server. Yeah, 5000. So this will proxy there, localhost // 5000. There's no need for this, right? So this will be that, so we can have it like this, right? And then and then what we do is, okay, so we have that house image. So now we can send back our Axios request, but then firstly we need the data equals to new form new form data, and then what we do is we say data.append we gonna append the price, and we put that price. Data.append we want the city, and we pass on the, not cryptoman, the city. And this is gonna be a long one, not a long one, but then excuse me. And then we have that, and we pass on the province. Data.append num of bed rooms, and this is as it is. I'm lazy to type that twice, so that goes there. And then what we need now is the bathrooms. So data.append, let's type on that long word. Data.append that, we paste that, and then I say data.append the garages. Do that as sale or rent. And then I give that through, and then data.append house image, and I send through the house image. Right, so now everything is set. So now we can exit. So because I think for proxy to work, it'll need me to restart my server. So what's happening now? Axios. It'll need me to restart my server if I'm not mistaken. So we can just close this because we know that you're gonna get back a reload. I think that's how it works, but then I might be wrong. So let's restart that server, and let's just continue with this. So data.append house image, and that. So now when I say axios dot post, do I even have axios? Looks like I don't even have axios. Let's check my package.json, and not server package, man. I don't have axios. Yeah, and that's why it's saying that it cannot resolve this time. So let's install axios. Let's have axios installed. So that is doing its thing, and we will be in the client and PMI axios -- save. So that shouldn't take some time. So while that it's doing its thing, we can continue with our axios dot post, and we want to post on the URL, and this, we want to send the data, and then what we want is a response from you, the response whereby we want to log out all the response, the data, and finally catch any trailing errors. Catch any error, and if there's any error, we want to log those errors. So log. We want to log out those errors that we are getting. Do that, And now this should be fine, and this is still installing Axios. And I'm sure here in our source code we most definitely, okay, we're not getting any errors, but then yeah, it's fine. So our Axios is now in. Let's refresh this page. There we go. So now we can come here. So now we wanna what is this one? We want to list the house. So this house will be for 38,000, province Western Cape, house location, city. The city is Belleville. It is a sale. Number of bedrooms is 5, 4, 5, same thing. And then when I have 4 bathrooms, garages 4, and the house image. Doesn't matter, any house image. And let's open the console so that we can see all that we get, and let's send that. Let's see, there we go. Now we have that working just fine, house details and that. And then we can, okay, hold on. Okay, house details and that, and the image. Right, so it's going into cloud now we set. So now let's look at our MongoDB so that we can see how many we have. Let's see the houses that we have. I think we have 2. Exactly, I think we have 2, and all of them are sales. Right, so let's add 3 more for sale and add 5 for rent, so that we balance everything out when we can add. Okay, so I'll quickly do this. So let me pause the video so that I can do, because I'm sure that you guys don't want to see me doing this. So let me just pause the video and add the sales and rent, and then yeah. Okay, so I've added 12 like houses randomly, and that is fine, man. At the end of the day, it's functionality, so I just added houses quick. So I'm sure that you guys didn't want to see me do that and waste your time. So I've added like 12 houses, and I'm sure that you guys added maybe as much as you guys want. So now we can close this chapter. Now we want to deal with the page routing too, for sale and for rent. Right. So now let's close this chapter and close this house listing form. It's no more important to us. So now we wanna have for sale and for rent component, right? So I'm gonna say for sale.jsx, and then array fce, and so both for sale and for rent will have the same structure, so it will be just a copy and paste the structure from here to that. So we're gonna say here, we're gonna say houses underscore container. So we're gonna be using Redux to get that, so that we can have that loading page, and then just say houses for now. Just say house. So let's come here and let's install our Redux. So npm I react-redux, and then we want redux, and we want redux -tank -save. Right, so this is all that we need. So while that it's doing its thing, let's come up here in our store. Let's make a store folder. So we'll say store, and in the store we want actions. We also want reducers, and we want a global store. We want a global store.js. Right. So now let's start with our actions. So actions will be house. So it's just that we're dealing with houses and we're dealing with the rent and house for sale fetch, house for sale. Or let's just say houses. Oh, should I separate them so that I don't know. Let's just say house fetch, man. Let's just say house fetch and have them in one file. Say house fetch action.js. So in here we need also the action types. See action types.js. So let's say export. Let's start with this export const fetch house underscore request is equals to fetch house underscore request, and then export const fetch underscore house underscore success is equals to fetch underscore house underscore success, and then export const fetch underscore house underscore fail is equals to fetch underscore house underscore fail. So let's just verify fetch house request success fail, fetch house request success failed. So everything is now set. Now we can come in here. So let's say const, let's say export const house for sale action, and then this will have that dispatch, right? And then in here we'll have a try catch. So we'll dispatch a type of fetch underscore request. Hopefully it doesn't, yeah, because of fetch request. And while that is happening, we want to have that data to be fetched, and we want to make this an asynchronous function. We want to fetch data and await the receival or the receiving of so when I say const URL, it will be API, it will be /API/house dash fetch. So there by the server, is it by the server? What's happening here? Okay, now this house dash sale, right? So we're gonna say import Axios from Axios, and then we say Axios dot get URL, and then I dispatch a type of fetch now success, and the payload is the data, right? And then if there's any error that occurs, I want to catch that and fetch house fail, and then the payload is the error that arises, right? Now this will be the function, and basically this should be a copy and paste for the sale one. So house for rent, for rent action, and the same applies, and then we change here to rent, and the same applies, the URL, taking out the URL, yeah, the same applies, right? So this will be it, right? So now I want to go to the reducer. So in the reducer, we want to say house fetch reducer.js. So in here, what do I want to do? I want to export const house for sale reducer, and the state of this will be equal to the house for sale. Initially that will be that. No man. House for sale. What do we go to that? And then we want to have a switch. So in the switch we want to have the action, and our case will be fetch underscore house underscore request, and this will be returning back to me a loading screen. And then I have another case that will be fetch success, right? And this will return back to me a loading of false, and the house for sale will take in the action dot payload, right? And then finally I have the case of failing, and then this will return back to me a loading of false, and the error is the action dot payload, and this one is the action dot payload, and then this will return to me the state, right? So now let's make sure that we import the rest. Let's make sure that we import the rest, and we just duplicate this, change the name of the, it's just a delete and then auto import. We do that, that should be saved. We copy and paste this, just duplicate that, and then we say house for rent reducer, and then we change this to house for rent, let's say rent, house for rent list, house for sale list, and we change that. You also want to change that, right? House for rent reducer, house for sale reducer. So now I want to come here to the store. So now I want to import a few things from Redux. We want to import create store, we want to import combine reducers, we want to import apply middleware, we want to import compose, and from Redux thunk, we need thunk, right? So we need thunk from Redux thunk, and then I want to have a const initial state, and we want to have a const reducer, which is combined reducers, and it takes up an object, right? So we say house for sale, and then this will be taking house for sale reducer, and then we have house for rent. This will be taking houses, not houses, but an house for rent reducer, like that. And then we need our compose enhancer so that we can use the Redux dev tools. So I'll say compose enhancer, so I'd advise you to get that, which will be window dot underscore underscore Redux underscore dev tools underscore extension underscore compose underscore underscore. If you do not have that, then you can use compose, but then I would advise you guys to get the Redux dev tools. It's very helpful. And then thereafter we want to create our store. So we want to say store, go to create store, and this takes up the reducer, the initial state, and we want the compose enhancer, whereby we apply middleware, and we use thunk for asynchronous operations. And what we do now is we export default, and we export the store. Alright, so now our store is now ready for use. So we can go to our app, right? App, no, index, no. I want to go to index here, so I want to import from React-Redux. I want to import provider. So I want to wrap our app with the provider. That's what we want to do. We wrap that with a provider. We remove that. That should do. And then the provider, we want to give this the store, which will be our store that we have, and import that. Right, so now our Redux store is now imported there. So now if I was going too fast, I don't know, you guys can like rewind, or if you want me guys to make a video on Redux specifically alone before going to the third build, because we're on a roll guys, when I when I make projects. So just tell me and I would gladly do that. So when I do that, Redux, not Redux man, React Redux. So in React Redux, I wanna have the use dispatch, I wanna have the use selector, right? So when I say use dispatch, due to my laziness, I give that, and I want the use selector, and come on IntelliSense, give me that one. There we go. However, what is happening here is I need my store, so to make sure that I get the correct word, house for sale, and that is from here state.house.sale, and in here I'm extracting, so using the destructuring the error, and we paste the house for sale list, right, because that is the object that we need, right? And then we can do that, and then we need the use effect. So use effect, come on, I want to import it first. Use effect, there we go, import. and then okay, so what happens is I want to dispatch a house for sale action. House for sale action. How did I name that? So let's go to our house for sale action, and I say the house for sale action like this, right? And why is my IntelliSense not picking this up? House for sale action. Import that. I want to dispatch that, and then we'll be checking our Redux state. This should get me what I want. So now let's just have this in our app, and then we say route, and then we say for sale import. So once we're done with the house for sale and the house for rent, and we're done styling this, it will be enough for today. And then tomorrow we deal, not tomorrow, but in the next video we deal the product details and the sending in of note mailer, and we'll be done with this project. So we'll say houses dash sale. Right, that should do. So but then let's deal with our header. So to go to this route, let's copy that. So we go to our header desktop, and the link is already imported. Oh, hold on. Oh, it was for list your property, but they're not for sale. Okay, I was wondering where's this coming from now? Wanna do that, paste that there. Okay, hold on, say 2, and then I paste that there, and then I cut this, bring that there, because I know that it'll give me the style, so I can just copy that style and bring that there. Right, you know, in the app I can make a global style for all these links to avoid this code with like repetition and all that. But then yeah, I can do something that you can like look into, like in terms of like in the app.css have this style, name all your links, give them a class maybe of router, react router links, something like that, and then have this style. So something that I'm thinking of right now, it'll be very useful, definitely. And then what's happening here? Fetch house action. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. Oh, I didn't import the fail. There we go. Oh yeah, already imports. Forgot. If I do once, it does. Okay, so action is not defined. Oh, I think in the reducer I didn't name the second argument action. Yeah, I think I didn't name that action. Okay, there we go. So now if I come here for sale, let's look at our Redux dev tools. Come on, man. Do this, refresh that. Am I the one doing this all wrong with how I call those Redux dev tools? Redux dev tools. I'm just compose. This is proper. Just don't know what's happening with this thing. Okay. Okay. Let me just see what's happening with this and I'll get back. So I honestly do not know what was wrong with this. That's why I even paused the video. I know that I said in my builds we'll be solving problems together, but then I honestly do not know what is happening here because we can see I never even changed anything. It's still window dot underscore underscore redux dev tools underscore extension underscore compose. Still the same thing, nothing changed, right? But then for some reason now I am getting the request and however we're getting the fail because the server does not have this route, right? So I do not know what is happening, hence I paused the video. So now let's get back to the server and actually make those routes there. So when I say house fetch route, so let's close all this other things. We'll get back to them when we get back to the client. So now house listing, not house listing, man, the house fetch route. So when I say house fetch.js, so we need our router coming from Express. We need not mongoose, but then we need the const, the house schema. I hope I named it house. I'm not. We'll verify if that is the case. Models, house, yeah, named it house. And then what else do I need? I'll need this. If I do need anything, then I'll add it. So we start with this command. This will be the house fetching route. Right. So here we say router.get and we said API slash house dash sale, right? And this will be asynchronous request response, and in here basically I want to say house dot find. So here we need options for this one because we want to find all that are for sale. And how we do this is, I think we have to come here in the house details and is rent or sale. So what we do is we then say whereby the house underscore details dot is sale or rent is sale. So we want to get all those details that are sale, right? So is sale or rent, let me just copy that properly. So whereby the house details is sale or rent, and then it is in the house details, right? So it's in the house details, right? And then dot exec, and then this will bring to me back a promise whereby I'll have the data and I return a response dot status of 200 dot json, and I send back the data. So I want to wrap this in a try catch block so that if there's any error that arises, we catch that error. And in here I want to return a response.status of 500.json. So this is something that the client will, even though I won't handle this in the client side, but then there's a way that maybe we could have handled it. So I want to say message server is currently down. Right, so now we have all that. So now we need that second route. So basically this is the same. We can just duplicate that, but then change this to rent and change that to rent, and the data and all that is still the same. Right, so now I wanna module.export. I wanna export this router. Right, and that should be it, and then I take it to the server. So in the server I want to say const house fetch route is equal to require, and the route house fetch route that, and then we say app.use house fetch route. Now that should do us justice, and we're not getting any errors in our server. Our server is now smooth. So what I then do is now let the server start up. So once the server start up, we will reload our home page, not our home page, man, our page, yeah, and then see what we get in our Redux. Right, there we go. So we're getting the success. Let's see the state, and I'm not getting the data that I want. That's weird. That's really weird. Okay, so now here's where the problems come into play. Okay, so before I send this, let's log out this data. Let's see if we are getting the data that we need. Let's log out the data and see if we are getting the data that we need. Let's wait for this to reload and connect to MongoDB, and we restart that. Let's come back here, and we are getting back this data, but then why is it not saving into my Redux? We are getting all those sale products, but then it's not registering in my state. Okay, so it looks like the server is working fine, so the error is not in the server, probably in the way we handled our Redux, which doesn't make sense because I think we did do pretty much well. So then let's go back to our store. Let's come to our actions. Right, so I did give this a payload of the data. I did give this, not that one. What am I doing? I did give this thing the payload of the data, right? And then we request, we access to the data, we have that payload, so that looks fine by me. Now let's go to the reducer. Let's see if there's any wrong doing in the okay. So to have that, so we have that state and we have the action. Right. So we fetch on request, we load true. On success, change that, and then we have the house list thing, the house list, just this one, to be the action dot payload. Right. And then that looks pretty much fine to me, to be honest, unless there's an error that I'm not catching. And we have that default to being that state. Right. This looks clean to me. I don't know. This looks proper, like proper to me. Unless it wants me to say state dot that, which I doubt. Yeah, it shouldn't be like this at the end of the day. I've never done redux like this. Okay, let's check our store. So house for sale. So we have house for sale reducer, which is coming from this one, whereby we have the state. It doesn't make sense why it's not. To be honest, it's not making sense. It's really not making sense. Oh yes, that's fine. What we'll do is, for the sake of this video, I will wait a bit with Redux and then see what's happening, because it doesn't make sense to me. And then we'll fetch this data normally without Redux, right? So what we do is we have a pause on Redux, because this is not making sense to me. That should be working just fine. And we'll resolve the issue on the next video together. So I'll first look into it. So yeah, it's just not making sense to me, to be honest. So what I do is I'll remove this patch and everything. Oh, hold on. You select a state.house.sale. That should do properly. Like I'm saying, it doesn't make sense to me, to be honest. So let's just do this, and let's just comment that out for now. Let's just comment that out for now, right? So in our use effect, so we need the use state. So we'll have the houses and set houses. So say use state, import that, and initially this will be an empty string, and then in the state, so I want to say axios, so I want to import axios from axios, so axios dot get. So I want that URL. So the URL is const URL is /API /house /sale, if not mistaken. And then I want the URL. And then .then response. We want to log out the response .data, and then catch any trailing errors. We want to log out we want to log the error dot response dot let's just look at the error, it's fine. So now this should do the trick for us. So if we go to our console right now, we should have found that data. So I don't know why it's not saving, because I'm sure even in that Redux, if I had logged out the data, I would have received that data. But then why it's not saving in state, I don't know. So we have that. Now what we want to do is when we receive the data on, then instead of logging it out, I want to set houses to be on that response data, right? Now what I want to do is I want to say houses and so once I receive that houses, so I'm going to say the house container, not house container, but then let's say houses, I don't know how to name this, houses list underscore container. And then in here, what I want to do is map through the house. So I say houses dot map, and then this will bring back the house, single house, and we'll return some JSX whereby I'll say this will be a single, underscore house, right? So yeah, we just want the image and the name where it is situated. So we're just gonna say yeah, image, and then when I say house dot product image, what did I say? House image. I'm thinking of the e-commerce right now, so it's house dot image, and then we'll say house picture, right? And here I want the name of this thing, so I'll give it an h4, where I'll say house dot so how we'll do this is, let's open this one and let's see actually, because we're building based on this one. So let's open this one and see how, because I was trying to remember the structuring and everything, but then let's just get this one opened and let's see. So the load time is a little bit slow, so if you guys know how to improve like load time for React projects, tell me like how that is done and to improve my load time. I don't know, is it bundling or I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so we have that. So what we want to do is, let's come in here. So we have it'll get the, okay, so it has the price and it has the number of bedrooms and house for sale way, right? Makes sense. So what we do is we'll have an h4, let's see, yeah, we'll have an h4, and then this will be house dot price, and then we have another h4. So in here, when we'll need template strings, so what we'll need is the number of bedrooms, so it will be house dot num of bedrooms, 5 bed, and then will be 5 bed, for example 5 bedroom house for sale in, so we need the location, So it'll be house dot, and I think I'm not doing this properly because it is house dot house underscore detail dot house underscore detail dot price, and the house image should have the detail as well. So it will be that dot that, and the number of bedrooms should be that dot that, and then this one is the house dot house underscore location dot province. I think this should give me the exact thing that I want. So let's see, React app. Okay, is undefined. Okay, so let's just see. Okay, so let's just see how the data is coming back to us, guys. Let's just see. Let's log out the response.data. Let's see the structure of this thing. So for now, let's just do this, and we do that. So that shouldn't raise any errors. If it does, it wouldn't make sense. So okay, so it's doing this 50 times, and this is something that in the use effect we want to only render this once. So we do that. So I can refresh, and the response is coming back to me. So house underscore location. Okay, let's just look at one. And what did I do here? Didn't I say house underscore location? And it's details, if I'm not mistaken. So house underscore details. Okay. So I still want this to occur once, but then it is details, and the location should be fine. So now this shouldn't be giving me any errors. Right, undefined bedrooms for sale in Western Cape. So let's see what's happening here. So at least we are getting the okay. So dot price, it's house underscore details dot price, house dot house underscore details dot price. Okay, let's see what's happening. So the price, I am getting the price, but I'm not getting the bedrooms. Oh yeah, the price, I am getting the price, but then the bedrooms, because I have a capital letter R, so it's bedrooms. So it's bedrooms with the capital letter R. So yeah, they are the bedrooms, right? So now the images, I'm not getting the image. So now let's see what the problem is. So it should be in the house that. So it's the house underscore image. Okay, perfect. So it's the house underscore image. House underscore image. I don't know if it's a capital letter I. Okay, so it's a small letter I. So here we are getting back our details properly, right? So now we also want the nav bar to be on top. So let's go to the app and let's bring up the nav bar. Let's bring that up, and it's happening. Okay, so we have that. And it's so sad we're not even having the loading page, but then it's fine. Our Redux bailed on us, and that is showing up to us, right? But then we'll fix that in the next video. So now let's get to styling this, and let's see how this is going to be looking. So we'll say houses, house list .css. So I can import that, yeah, import that. I went too far, so style shift, and then we say house list .css. So right, so what's happening is, so I have this container having everything, right? So this is the container that is holding everything, the house list container. So this is the one that I want to mess around with, right? So first I want to give this a margin top of, let's say, 2.5 m. And what's happening now? House list .css. House list. I have a capital letter I. For some reason I do not know. So it looks like I have a capital letter I. So I want to give that, let's just give that a 3.5 m, just to give that to the bottom right. And then I want to give it a padding to take it off the sides, 2m. It's looking good to me, it's looking good. Alright, it's looking good. And then I want to say display me flex, justify content space between for that, and then we'll have that like this, you check. And then what we'll do is, to avoid this, we'll have flex wrap. So we'll want to wrap that, so say flex wrap wrap. Right, that easy. Okay, let's just refresh that. So we have that. Flex start. There we go. Because I was avoiding that. However, now I'll have a problem with spacing. See now this way, because if I use space between, let's say space evenly, that's a problem. I'm not liking this whole thing. If you guys know how to solve that, because I have a problem normally when I deal with things like this. So how can I make this like that? If you guys have a solution to this, like, can you guys please help me? Because yeah, this is a problem that I always face when this is big, that goes there. I don't know if this will help. Flex auto. How should that help? Yeah, doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Yep. And there's no flex start. There isn't. Is there? But then if you guys know how to solve that, you guys, can you please like just comment down below. So to fix this, so to have all this starting there. Oh, let's just make a quick Google search. How to justify content space between and have flex start. I don't know if this is possible, but then okay, so it's only giving me the justified content. Um, mm, okay, this looks promising. This looks promising. Uh, mm, mm, mm. Okay, I just saw tons of code. I did not even see what's happening there. So what I can do is think. We'll space around. That won't solve my problem. I thought. See that I knew that wouldn't solve my problem. But then I think this could. I don't know. So let's come to single house. But then if you guys know how to solve that, please comment down below, and I'll gladly look at that. So I can say margin left of 1m. So this will nudge exactly. I knew that will solve my problem like that. Giving this thing spacing with that. So, but that's a lot of spacing. Let's say 0.5. That's a lot. 0.1. Okay. 0.2. 0.3. Come on, man. I don't want to give it a lot. 0.4. I guess 0.5 it is. 0.5. I guess 0.5 it is. Alright. So that is like a lot of space, and it's looking nothing like. It is similar-ish. Is it? But then there's too much space. But then, yeah. So let's come here. So we have this right here. So I can say, hold on, let me see something. So if I align item center, that might help me in mobile view. So, but then I'm having this problem of these pictures are not like really the same, like length and everything. So, but then that's my problem. I don't know how I got this looking like this, because this is like good spacing and all that. But then let's just try and do this with you guys. So now I need the margin bottom on each and every one. So they should have a margin bottom of, let's say, 1.5 m's, and let's just give that a 2. 2 will be fine. Right, so we have that margin bottom. So now I want to deal with the font weight of these things. So we want to make the price a bit bolder and that a little bit non-bold. So however, the price, where's the price? I need to have what we call the currency. I'm using rands, and you guys can use whatever you want, whatever that you guys use. Dollars, yens, what currencies are they? Swiss franc, something like that. So we have that. So we want to make this a little bit lighter and have that a bit bolder, but then give it a bit of some touch. Right. So what we do is we then say class name, and we say house underscore price. Right. So we have that. And then I wanna also deal with the house class name, house underscore summary. Hopefully that makes sense. So I also want to deal with this one's font weight. Right. So the font weight of this one is, let's say, 500, and the font weight of this one, let's say, 250. And let's see how that is looking. Right, so I want to get this a bit more bolder, if I'm not mistaken. So let's give this one a 700, and let's give this one a 500 to have that a bit bold. Nah, it's a bit too bold, but then it's fine. And then what just happened right now? My margin just is not working anymore. Let's say 0.8. Come on, man. Say 1. What's happening now with my margin? Okay, I won't stress heavy on that. I will try and figure out solutions to that. So now we have that there. So now we want to go to the rent and also have that working. So it is simple for rent. What we do is we just copy and paste this. So let's make a component. For rent.jsx. We copy and paste that. So now we only want to change the URL to rent, and then the rest remains the same, guys. The rest remains the same. However, I want to change for sale in, but then to be to rent. Let's see how that is named here. So when we go to for the rent section, why is it saying my server's down? What's happening now? I wonder what's happening with my server there. Oh yeah, my internet connection is down, not the server's down. I was wondering because I know for a fact that it shouldn't be down. So my internet is just down. So that won't work currently. And yeah, but then let's just say this will be bedroom, 5-bedroom house to rent in, house to rent in that. So we have the sale is not in cap, so we should do the same thing, house for rent in. And I don't know if that, oh yeah, this is just the, oh yeah, I should remove this logs, but then it's fine, it doesn't hurt me or my project. But then it's just remove that house listing or house listing with an house fetch route, and let's remove that log. And then what we want to do, oh yeah, and then I'll have a problem with MongoDB because my internet is down. I'll definitely have a problem with MongoDB. So what I'll do is let me just get my phone to give this computer internet connection. I'll definitely have a problem with MongoDB, that's what I'm sure of. So just do that. So now my phone is ready. So now connect. Come on, man. So let's just turn that off, and let's just do that because I know that wouldn't connect. So yeah, that will be the problem that we'll have, connection to MongoDB. So there we go. Now here's my phone, and we connect to that. So in a second that should connect. I don't know why the Wi-Fi, the home Wi-Fi is doing that, but then we'll check it out after this video. And now my MongoDB should connect. There we go. So now, okay, so now I remove those logs and the house to rent. So now we can look at that now. So now we can look at this, refresh this page, and we said house for sale in Western Cape. Hectic. So I forgot to change this myself. So now it should be house for rent. This should definitely be house for rent. But then it's fine. Am I in the right? Yep, I'm in the right. Okay, that's fine. So we'll say house to rent in that place, wherever that is. And we'll say house for sale, wherever that is. For sale, wherever that will be. So now we want to register this component in our app. So let's close the CSS because we don't need it anymore. So we can just duplicate this, but then we change that to rent, and we say for rent. Oh yeah, so this component is not yet there because I copied and pasted everything coming from that. So I want to do this, and I'll say for rent, right? So that should also change there, and that should work here. So but then now I wanna go to my header desktop and register that URL. So I'm gonna say link and copy that, put that there, and then copy the style into, have it like this, put it like that, change this to rent, and we should be good to go. Then I come in here, refresh this. For rent is not defined. Okay, so now I wanna go to my app, and what is happening now? For okay, now it's fine. So I'll just manually import it like this, and then I'll say import for rent from dash components dash, I want to say dash, man, slash for rent. Right, now that should kill that error, and it's happening in the to rent. I'm not having, so in the desktop nav, what did I just do? Let's just remove. What just happened here? Okay, so I'm getting a bit. So I have this for sale. I wrapped around that. So now I want to deal with this one. Didn't I just do that? Didn't I honestly just come in here? Say that. Right, so I have now this one wrapped around that one. So I want to just copy that. I just want to copy this, come to this one, paste that there, and then give it a house rent, and in the app it is the house dash rent. Right, so we now have the houses to rent here. So now this is displaying nicely than this one. I don't know, maybe it's because the pictures are not equally in size. It really doesn't make sense to me. So but then now we have all the pictures being rendered. On the next video we'll look at clicking on this picture and then it sends us, so what, let me just show you. So in the next video we'll concentrate on clicking this image and then it takes us to this page and we'll have that contact agent. This will be hooked up with Node Mailer and we'll get this icons, material UI, and we'll fix out the redux because it doesn't make sense. So that what we want to do is have that loading screen while fetching data, and we'll fix that out. And I hope you guys liked and enjoyed this series of videos and you're still enjoying. Please like, share and subscribe, and goodbye. You decide if you're ever gonna let me know. Yeah.